you go. Okay, audio is working. Great. Sorry for the delay, everyone. Hi. I am just finishing up something. I had a client chase me up for a change last minute. So, plan. I've only got about an hour. I'm going to stream today, but that's all right. We'll have a good time. So the plan here is episode 8's all ready to go, and it's coming out next week, so Wednesday. If you're a patron, you've got access to it now. Volume's low. Oh, okay, cool. Hang on. Let me turn up my volume. Let's see, which one are you guys? You are properties. Yep. All right, how's that? Does that sound better? Let me know in chat. So, hey Ginger, how are you? It's good to see you in chat. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Let me pop this over here. Just getting all set up. Let me know, Angry Man, if the audio is better now. Awesome. All right, good. Cool. So we've got about as usual, I think there's about a 20-second, maybe 10-second delay on the stream, just so you know. Not too bad. So if you ask a question, it'll just be a little delay for me to get back to you. All right, so plan. I've got to send this file to this client, and then we're going to jump into it. We're going to start working on not episode 8, but episode 9 is what we're plowing through at the moment. So 2 seconds, I'll get this sorted. I thought I had my day organized. Now there's a chance this client's going to call like halfway through the stream, which will be annoying. All right, let's send that. This over here. All right. Right, we're just going to ignore that for now. Sorry, everybody. It's like as soon as I decided to do a live stream, everybody and their dog starts emailing me to get stuff figured out. All right. So yeah. So anyways, so what we're gonna do is we've got in this story what we're up to is we've got the droid flies up. We just saw that last one. Scans the asteroid and then it flies away. The next thing in our story is we're gonna have the droid fly up to this really big asteroid that's going to scan it and it's going to get a different reading. It's going to realize it's not just an asteroid, and we're going to have this big asteroid. It's going to have a like a factory inside of it, basically, is the plan. Sorry, the stream just got really bad. I was just uploading a document. My upload bandwidth is very, very poor. All right, here we go. I'm going to send this file, and then let's. Cool. All right. Hopefully everyone just has lunch now. All right, let's get Blender going. Drop that. Get rid of that. And let's open up. Actually, I'll just go new. Go for a new file, fresh file. All right. Thanks for your patience. Okay, so anyways, as I was describing, we've got this giant asteroid we're going to come up to, and it's going to have some kind of factory in it. I want to have the idea of it's going to be like this thing that kind of sucks in asteroids and spits out spider bots. And when they discover it, the droid discovers it, and that's kind of the moment of climax where everything goes haywire and things kind of fall apart and go crazy. I think I'm going to try something new with this one as well. So usually I do these live streams and then I immediately take them down and I just put them up on Patreon. But I think I'm going to have this one up, just kind of see how it goes, and then maybe take it down after the actual episode gets published. Let me know, those of you that aren't on the Patreon, if you find these interesting. And those of you who are on the Patreon, if you're watching this, let me know if this is like an incentive for you guys, to be patrons. I'm not sure the value of these live streams, afterwards, in terms of what you're interested in. So just let me know. Anyways, let's jump into it. All right, I'm going to switch my views here and keep myself right about there. All right. So let's think about a plan. I think what I'll do is I'll start us off in. We should start off in the main file. I think I might even start off in the last one. Let's go to tutorials, 3D scene files. All right, let's go to the last scene file. Now I've got chat up, so let me know if you have any questions. Pop in there and say hello. I'll say hello back. And yeah, let me know if volume and stuff's all good. If you have any problems with the stream, just I'll sort it out. All right. Now, all right. So I've got about an hour. Let's see how far we can get. Let's see if we can get by 1:30. All right. So we've got him, and he flies up, scans, and then flies off. All right. I'll start us off here. All right. Cool. All right. Let me I'm going to turn my face off and I'm going to do some recording. All right. It's all good. Hello and welcome to another exciting Blender tutorial. Today what we're going to be doing, what is it we're doing? We're going to be making we'll try for the asteroid factory. Okay. Hello and welcome to another exciting Blender tutorial. Today we're going to be building our asteroid factory enemy giant bad thing. Let's get started. That was a good intro. I like that. All right. Okay, so today we're going to continue our story. Now, where we left off last time, our little hero scannerbot dude, droid guy was scanning this asteroid, and then he turns around and flies off. And what happens next? Well, we only have a little bit of time left in our music where we don't have any action happening. So he's gonna turn around, he's gonna fly off, and he's gonna find something. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have him come up to. The plan is come up to like a giant asteroid somewhere in this asteroid field, and this is the reason why our character's here. So if they've come searching for this thing, which is basically a giant factory. That's the plan. Giant asteroid factory thing that's hiding in this asteroid field, and it's producing these spider bots, these droids that are trying to blow everything up. So we're gonna have our little guy discover the big factory. So in order to have him discover a big factory, we need to make a big factory. Now the idea is I want to kind of take one of these giant asteroids out here somewhere and use it. So we're gonna kind of use it as a basis for this factory thing. But I'm going to start off in this main file. So this is the last scene file that I have, and we're going to start off with this one. And what we're going to do is use this as the basis so that we got all the right materials and objects and stuff that we can pull from, and as well as the scale. We want to make sure we're getting our scale right as we're building this thing. So that's the plan. All right, so let's figure this out. First thing I want to do is I'm going to save this as a new file. So I'll just do that real quick. Space Battles. Actually, this is episode 9. Crazy, man. How many episodes are there going to be in this thing? Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and delete all the stuff that I don't need. So there's a lot that I don't need here. We're going to get rid of, I'll get rid of all of my emitters and stuff. So let's, I'm going to select all those out. I'm just going to delete all those emitters. Let's see, far asteroids. We don't need any of those. Hero asteroids, I'll keep them around. I'll keep the sun. Don't really need the sun, do I? I'll keep it for fun. Vortex, I can get rid of that. And what else? Camera, path, smart cone, scan cone, all that stuff. We can get rid of the scan cone. And what else do I need? And we'll keep our scanner bot around. And that should be pretty good. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these guys down here and just bring them up. Actually, I'll put it right at 0, 0, 0. And I think I'd just delete all the rest of my asteroids. Let me just make sure I don't have any. How many asteroid materials do we have? We do have quite a few. I think we've got different ones for different scales. Let me just double check to make sure I don't have any rogue asteroid materials. It looks pretty rogue, is it? No, it's the same. Check these numbers here. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Yeah, it looks like just the bump's changing, so that's cool. All right, get rid of all this, and we'll get rid of all this. And that. And that. And we only need one camera. Delete that one. And now I'll get rid of all the keyframe data. Just delete those keyframes. Actually, I could just do that, and that'll let me delete all the keyframes in the entire scene in one go. All right, brilliant. Move this over. Okay, there's our little scanner bot, and here's our giant asteroid. And we've got this asteroid as well. I can get rid of. So now we just have the two things that we need. Oops. Holy cow, that's huge. Where did that even come from? I didn't even see that. Make sure I don't delete everything. Okay, now just for ease of workflow, I'm going to move my scanner bot straight over to the 0, 0 position. And I'll zero out the rotation as well, and I'll hit the full stop key on my keyboard to pop over to where he is. It's also known as the period key, if you're not familiar. All right. There we go. Now, what is this? That's the sun, and that's our giant asteroid. All right, I'm going to bring this forward on the X, on the Y, and on the Z. Now, this is kind of just going to be like a bit of a reference. It's a starting point for us. So, yeah, Brazo Productions. Hello from Buenos Aires. Awesome. It's so cool. It's nice to know what time zones are awake right now. All right. Let's see. Let's figure this out. I'm not going to use this, but I do like knowing how big that thing was, and we do want this to be quite huge. So I might move this out of the way just for a minute, and I'm going to create something. I'm going to create maybe an isosphere, and I'll just put that in the 0 position and focus my attention on it. Yep. I'm going to grab my scanner bot. I'm just going to move him back on the X a little bit. And I'm going to get this thing scaled up till it's the right size. And I'm just kind of guessing. I'm just kind of feeling it out. You know, it might also help. I think it'll help if I have my hero ship in here as well. So I'm going to actually append my hero ship into the scene. Okay. There it is. And this is just for scale. So move him back, and we'll move him back. Now I can reference them as I go. So one of the things I want to have happen in this scene is I want to have the spider bot's going to be coming out of this thing. We're going to climax to a point in the scene where basically we're going to have the hero ship. He's going to fly up and he's going to nosedive into this factory, and I don't know if he's going to fly through it. I think he's going to like send some kind of like pulse weapon into it and cause the whole thing to explode. So, and he's going to do like one of those dramatic, either he'll pull up at the last minute or he'll fly through. I haven't quite decided, but so I want it to be big enough that he could fly through reasonably, big enough that it feels like it's producing these spider bot things. So those are just some of the factors I want to think about. It's got to be imposing, you know. So like if we fly up to it in a shot like this thing's got to feel really huge. Doesn't necessarily have to be as big as say this thing, although it's getting up there already. So this is probably pretty good because like we can get some pretty dramatic shots flying up to something like this. Let's work with this size. I think this is good. All right. I'm going to zero him out just so it's right in the center, and I'm going to grab my scanner bot and my hero ship control and grab them back on the X just so they're out of the way. And we're going to use that as our main reference point. So let's see. Oh wow, 23:28 Buenos Aires, 4:29 in Germany, and 8:30 p.m. in Alberta. I'm guessing the first two are military time. Last one's not. Oh, Alberta, Canada, 8:30 p.m. That's not too late. I was worried if I do a stream at a time like this, like that basically nobody would tune in. That I always get this perception in my head that I'm the only one awake at this time of day. You know, it's me and like the 8 other Australians on the internet. Anyways, hi. Yeah. Okay, let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the material on this thing that we're going to use. So let's come over here and let's grab the asteroid material. I'm going to switch over to rendered view just to get a sense of it. And oh, cool, we still have our volumetric in the scene. How good is that? Hope you guys enjoyed that episode. All right, now let's think about our modifiers. We've got our displacement and our subdivision surface on that one. So let's imitate that. We'll go subdivision surface, and can do a couple of things with this one. Like we'd have this one kind of be creepily smooth. That could be interesting. But let's put the displacement on it. I'm just going to have I'm not going to have as much. Where is it? Displace. And I'll grab the asteroid displacement material. And I'm going to turn the strength right down. And then throw on my second subdivision surface. Bam. Cool. Oh yeah, and I always forget to mention this. There we go. Sorry, I need to switch the order of my things, so I'm always popping big portrait. Those of you that aren't on the Patreon, if you want to find a way to support the channel and you haven't really found one yet and you're looking for it, the super chat's a great way to do it. So just down here, just turn that on. So a few people take advantage of it. It's really great. It's just a way to kind of get your chat. It makes a lot of sense when there's like 1,000 people in chat, you know, and they're like going nuts. Do a super chat and it like highlights it and you can actually read it. When there's like, 10 of us, it's just about supporting the channel. So no pressure though. Don't feel like you've got to do that. I just wanted to mention it to you so that you're aware of it in case you wanted to buy me a coffee. All right. Let's make this thing happen. I'm going to shade smooth. And I am going to start thinking about what we could do with this thing. Now, I'm going to turn my grid off because it's a little bit, turn the floor off, I mean, it's a little distracting. And let's think. I definitely want to have a giant hole in the top. So that's a good place to start. Let's do that. I'm going to switch to solid face mode and grab these faces. I'm going to hit I to inset, bring that in, and then I'm going to hit E to extrude, and I'm going to grab that on the Z. And we will bring that in. That's so cool. Actually, instead of bringing that in just like that yet, I'll inset it again. Actually, just make sure. So inset, and then I again to inset, and then E. Bring that in. Well, that's actually not doing what I thought it would do. Let's see. Hey, Angry Man. You're feeling attacked. What does that even mean? Thanks for the super chat. Hang on. I gotta do this officially. Thanks for the super chat. I'm new at this YouTube thing, so I gotta practice. No, I appreciate it. Thanks so much. I'll attack you any day. Happy to. All right, let's figure this out. How is this gonna work? Maybe. What is it that? Oh, I've got. That's what I had. I had. What's it called? The whatever this is. What is this? Proportional editing turned on. Rookie error. All right, let's try that again. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to inset this top bit here, just like so. And then we're going to hit E to extrude, and we're going to grab it on the Z and drag it down. And you can see we start getting like really crazy stuff going on, which is what we want. We want some crazy stuff. Keep bringing that down. I might just... I'm thinking I want this thing to be hollow all the way through. So I might take this bit, delete these faces, and then grab that bit, bring it down, and then we need to rotate on the Z 90. Nope. And then what I can do is I can get rid of these faces, and then I can grab switch to vertex snapping up here and turn it on, and I can just grab and snap to these vertexes just like so. And then just make sure it's all working. You can select all and hit F3, and we can type in merge by distance. And that's going to just completely screw up the whole thing. Oh, it's just because we've got a twist in the middle. It doesn't. That's really cool looking, actually. All right, let's do a loop cut. Oh, it's not going to let me do a loop cut because it's confused. That's all right. Let's do this another way. All right, I'll undo that. Undo this. Oh, these undos are going really slow. All right. It's like I've got the old version of Blender. Maybe it's because I've got just switch to wireframe view, maybe. The joys of an unedited video. Turn my face back on while we wait for the undo to work. All right, come on, undo. What's going on? Okay, still not there yet. There we go. Okay, let's see. I'm actually just going to select these faces. I'm going to turn off transparent view. And I'll select these faces, and I will delete those faces there. All right, great. So now let's switch back to render view. All right, so just by deleting the top and the bottom sections, we'll be able to get what we want. I'm gonna take grab this loop here at the bottom, and I'm just gonna hit E to extrude. Turn off proportional editing. There we go, just so it matches. We've got a double edge on both sides. And now what I can do is I should be able to just hit down Shift and Alt and click this edge as well. And now both of these we can bridge with the bridge edge loops. Let's see if that works. So bridge edge loops, and yeah, perfect, great. So now we've got this tunnel through this asteroid. Very cool. All right. Yes, and Ginger beat me to it in the chat. You know what was going on. Oh, except I have my face turned on for that. I got to re-record it. I'll get in the groove eventually. I don't know why these undos are taking so long. It's like old Blender days. Maybe I need to purge. I've got too much going on in my scene. I need to purge. Here's a hot tip. If you don't know how to do this, you can actually purge unused data blocks in your file by going to File, Clean Up, Purge All. See, I've got 28 meshes, 13 actions. I've got a ton of stuff. Anyways, if you delete all those data blocks, it can just get rid of all of this unnecessary stuff. All right, I'm gonna delete those faces. All right. Okay, one more time without my face. Oh, look, we got a stray asteroid. All right, so now that I've made this extra edge loop here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold down Alt and click this edge loop right here, and then I can hold down Shift and Alt and click this one down here, and then what we can do is just bridge these together. So I can hit F3 and type in bridge edge loops, and hit return, and there you go. It's going to bridge those together. Perfect. All right, great. Let's keep making progress. Now, I want to think about, I'm going to turn down my displacement a little bit so that it's not doing too much work for me. I want to have a little bit of control over this thing. We're going to fill the interior of this with some machinery that spins. But I think what I want to do is, I think I'm going to make it a bit wider. Let's see if we can. Now, one problem with using the isosphere is that you really limit the amount of like edge loops that you have. Like, so you can see here, I'm holding down Alt. I can't select this intersection because of the face structure, but that's all right. I'm just going to scale it up in the middle a little bit. And let's see, I'll scale this one up as well. Grab this one on the Z, bring it up a touch. Like that. I want this bottom section to be smaller. So I'm just going to grab that, turn off transparent mode so I'm not accidentally clicking a bunch of extra pieces. See what happens if we spin it a bit. That's kind of cool. All right, sweet. Now I want to play around with just creating some extra facets and stuff on this guy. So I'm just going to select a few of these and extrude them out. I'm going to switch to the normal for moving these around. I'm just going to use the handles. I'll just extrude out a few of these just to see what kind of shapes we can get and if any of this is going to be cool. Nice. If we can get the displacement visible, I'm just going to turn on all my modifiers to be visible in edit mode so that I can actually see what it's going to properly look like. I'm also going to go ahead and delete this guy so I'm not confusing myself. And I'm just experimenting and playing around looking for a shape. So I'm just looking for, what can we do to make this thing look interesting, but also intimidating? Because this is supposed to be sort of the mothership of our bad guys. I love how it wobbles around when you grab stuff. It's pretty cool. Probably make some craters using that kind of a technique. That could be cool. Let's try that. It's kind of cool. Wow, undo's really slowing it down. Wait, that one's just a little too big. It's a bit too much, that one, I think. I'll just get rid of that. So slow. All right, there we go. Just pull it out. Turn it to something like that. Let's delete that face. What's actually going on? Oh, let's see, that was just going nuts on us. Delete those edges. And I'll just fill this hole. Oh, got an extra edge there. Clean this up. This is the kind of stuff I'll cut out from the video because it's painful to watch. All right, let's get this show back on the road. And yeah, I think this one's a bit too intense. All right, cool. So we got some crazy features on this thing. Now let's have another look at our deformation. Just play around with what this thing could look like. Now, if we increase our subdivisions over here, you got to remember to also increase your render subdivisions too. Otherwise, you can end up with a different result in your render. Of course, it does mean we'll end up with a lot more geometry, which can be a problem. But all right, I think that's looking pretty cool. I might elongate it a little bit. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I think it's looking cool. All right, so the next thing we want to do is build the inside of this thing. So the idea with this is I want it to be kind of this mechanical interior that's going to rotate around with like kind of notched gearing. So let's figure that one out. How long we've been going? 30 minutes. All right, cool. I'm just gonna stop my record real quick. Say a quick hi. If you have any questions, pop them in chat. I'll do my best to answer. I'm rocking my Indian clothes today. It's fun. Bought it in Fab India. If anyone's ever been there. In it was Chennai. Good spot. All right. Okay. Just thinking for a second. All right, we'll get the gear things going. Anyways, thanks for joining me today, everybody. It's fun having some people here. It's always nice seeing the support. Feel free to shout out in the chat or let me know anything. You can also send me a message on the Discord if you haven't joined that up. So, all right, thanks. Darosh, yeah. Have a good day at work or night at work, depending on where you're at. Hope everybody's doing okay too with all the COVID craziness. Hope you're staying safe and staying sane as well. I know that's hard, especially if you're in an area in lockdown. Hopefully this will be fun to watch and mess around with if you're stuck inside. Okay, I think I'm ready to push on. Let's keep going. Okay, so the next part of this is we're going to make is going to be the interior structure of this factory. So I want to make some gears and have them, kind of rotating around on the inside. So I'm going to start off with, I'm just going to, first off, actually, I'll hit Shift S and I'll snap my cursor to world origin to make sure that it's right there in the center. And then I'm going to hit Shift A and create a cube. I'm also going to get out of rendered view because I don't need to be rendered view. I'm going to bring this cube right up, turn off snapping, right up, and scale it right up as well. All right, scale it on the Z, bring it down, turn off transparent mode, and actually I might put this up here. Oh, thanks 4K, appreciate the super chat. You're the best, mate. You're even a patron too. Patron. Really appreciate you, man. It's fun having you like in every stream and stuff. I feel like we work together. All right, cool. So let's see. I'm gonna create a basic shape for these guys. I'm gonna grab the top edge right here, and I'll switch to local. And I think what I want is for these edges to go in like this. And then what I want to do is I'm going to hit Shift A, create a curve and a circle. I'm going to grab this up, scale it up as well. And I'm just going to position it like this. And then I want to create an array. Where are you, array? These guys. And we'll try constant offset for now. And then what I want to do is I want to do a, let's see, I think it's curve. Bezier circle, there we go. And see which of these gives us the right result. Oh, that's kind of cool. We'll work with that one. And let's take this and we're going to rotate on the, I think the Y 90. And that's going to put that like that. I want to go the other way actually. Rotate on the Y 180. Oh, I'm glad you finished the cupcakes 4K. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's going to be. It's going to be pretty good. It's a good question, Ginger. I have messed with it. It's a pretty good one, actually. I haven't. I try to avoid. I say this a lot. I try to avoid using add-ons in the tutorials just in case everyone doesn't have them. Even though a lot of the add-ons are free. Just trying to think about like how do I keep it simple and out of the box. But that's a good idea. It'd make this part a lot easier. All right, so I've made this round circular object, and we can do some cool things with it. Let's go ahead and get this positioned. I think I want to grab both of them. I might just apparent my cube to the Bezier circle. And then grab that circle and position it inside. And I'll just switch to my top-down view by pressing 7 on my number pad. And I'll just pop it right in there. And I think what I'll do is I'll take the back of it, this, and just grab it on the, let's see, which way do I need to grab it? There we go. Just grab it like that so it intersects the geometry. We don't need to go that far. Go. All right, cool. All right, now let's make this thing look interesting. I'm going to grab this cube, and actually what I'll do is I'm just going to focus on it. If you right click on something, you can, let's see, how do you do it? I know there's a way to, it's if it's in its own collection. I don't think I want to bother with that. Maybe I do. Yeah, I'll do it. All right, I'm going to just create a new collection here, and I'm going to call it factory. This will eventually be the collection we put everything in. And I'm going to come over here to what we just made, our Bezier circle and our cube, and I'm going to drag them over into factory. Now it's easy. What I can do is I can just turn everything else off and just focus in on this. Now I'm going to add in a bevel modifier and just play around with the offset. I don't want it to be too big. Something like that's pretty nice. And then I want to go into edit mode, and when I select one of these faces, so if you've got these turned on here, basically it means that you're going to see the effect of this modifier within edit mode. So if you've got that final one, that little grid of 3 dots, actually, sorry, it's the triangle one. So that allows us to work like this, where we're able to work within that the context of what we're doing to this thing. Okay. So now what I can do is I can play around with some stuff. The only part that's tough about it is knowing, like, what does scale Y do, for example, or scale X. So that just might take a little bit of playing around to get it right. And we're just going to create a little bit of detail like this, so that as a whole, the thing really looks cool and has some interesting just shapes going on. So when we're staring down into it, it feels like there's a lot to this thing. And I'm just using inset, so I to inset, and then E to extrude, and then the G key to grab. So I again to inset, E to extrude, G to grab, and locking it on the Z. And then I might do something cool where I grab just one of these edges and bring it down on the Z. And maybe something like that could be cool. Like, it would be nice to have some kind of blade system inserted into this. So let's see, what can we do with that? Let's grab one of these. Actually, let's go right up inside, grab this, and actually, let's try this. The inset again in the center, make it really small, and then grab the top edge there and bring it forward on the X like this. And I'm just playing around. It doesn't have to make, logical sense. All right, that's pretty cool. All right, so now if I pop out of edit mode, you can see we've got something that's pretty cool. Now I want to have some kind of light system on this, where we've got some red lights kind of glowing within this, and I want them to turn on. So we want to have this dramatic moment where it's like, that classic, as the lights kind of pop on. So let's go ahead and get some material action happening on this guy. We don't have any lights in this collection, so that's why it's dark. If I switch over to so let's go ahead and turn things back on. I want to turn everything back on. Yeah, let's have a look at it in context. That's probably a good idea. Okay, so with everything turned back on now, we can have a look at this thing. Now I'm going to go assign a new material to this and just give myself a little bit more room. And I want to make kind of a metallic, dark metallic metal for this. So I'm going to bring this main color down to dark gray. I'm going to turn my metallic right up, and I'll take my roughness down a bit and turn up my specular. And then what I want to do is I want to go in here into the edit, and let's see. What we want to do is I think we want to grab this. Yeah, let's try this. We're going to create a new material. So with that face selected, click the plus key over here, and then we're going to click new, and then we're going to click assign. Okay, and this is going to be factory red, and I might label this like 01 because I think I might have a few of these. And I'm going to switch this from a Principled BSDF just to the emission shader. Doing it this way, it's the same as deleting the node here and adding in an emission node, by the way. So let's go to this, and I'm going to make it red. I'm just going to go pure red. And I'm also going to take up my HSV. I'll take my V up to maybe 3 just to get that glow happening. You see, we're getting this really nice look on the inside as we stare down at this thing. And so now what I want to think about is, okay, it's going to be really dark inside here. So how is this emission going to help us see this stuff? And yeah, I just want to think about that. Like, got to make sure that our angles and stuff are actually show off the geometry that we've made. So this light may not be in the right spot, but I think we're pretty good for now. Let's go ahead, and I might take my cube and go back over here to my array and maybe increase my count. Or maybe let's see, what do we need to do? Oh, we already have a huge count. So we could, I think, yeah, having a lot of these is going to look really cool. So if we do this, and then what I want to do is I'm going to take this system and I'm going to hit Shift D. So now we have another one, and grab this, and I'll grab it down on the Z like that, and then I'll rotate it on the Z so it's so it doesn't line up. It's like a separate Z level, and I'm going to grab it up a little bit and maybe scale it in. And then let's play around with this one, maybe having not as many. Does that look any better? Not really. I think having loads of these things looks really cool. All right. All right, now let's grab this again and hit Shift D. Grab that on the Z, bring it in. And we're going to scale this one down too. So we get this like three tier kind of level. I'll have this one intersect like that. So that looks cool. Bring it in a little bit so we still get some of that red. And let's also take this top one and let's scale these guys up so that they're poking out a little bit. Although I don't want it to be, they're hiding, so narratively we probably don't want it poking out. But I do want it big enough that it's not going to be intersecting. So I want it to be a bit clean. So bring it up a touch. All right. Now the idea with animating this is we want to be able to take this and rotate it like that, right? So when this thing turns on, these lights are going to like turn on and these things are going to start spinning, you know. You like my sound effects? How fast can we go? So that's why that's how it's going to look cool. And we'll have them spinning in opposite directions. All right, so that's that section. Now let's think about how it's looking from the bottom. Actually, we're never going to see it from underneath, so I'm not too worried about that. All right, so the last thing I want to do with this, it's a fairly simple model, but I wanted to think about maybe could we have some other bits like along the sides and stuff. And also now that I'm looking at it, I don't know if I love these hills, this kind of like this look that we've got going on here. I think let's take our big asteroid again. Head back over to that. I can go ahead and grab this into our factory as well, so we've got everything contained in the factory object. And let's see. I'm going to take that down, and I'm going to take my displace maybe down to like 0.2. I just feel like it loses some realism. Like it starts looking fake to me. When we get too many of these little ridges and stuff, that's kind of cool. Yeah. It's cool. You could see the twisting that we put into it. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe we should do is let's go into edit mode with this. And let's grab this top section. So I'll just set transparency mode on, and I'll switch to vertex mode. I'll make sure I don't have anything selected. I'll just grab this top bit up here, and I'll just rotate it on the Z. Actually, I want to go from the 3D cursor. So I switch my origin point to the 3D cursor so that it actually rotates around the center of the scene. And also I'll turn this off so we can see what's actually happening. Now we're getting this like insanely cool kind of twisty look. Almost looks like something like was frozen. That's neat. I like that. We're keeping it. It's got to look like a weird asteroid. Like it's not a normal asteroid, so it's fine if it's got some bizarreness going on. So I don't know. I'll lock up. Yeah, I think this is pretty cool. I got to make sure I turn up my viewport render to match. Don't forget that. All right, sweet. Now let's think about having some things kind of poking out. So the idea is this little droid's going to fly up to this thing and scan it, and he's going to notice something's not quite right about it. So we're going to kind of like be up on the side of it like this, and we may need to adjust our material just to get that right. So let's think about this. Anyways, let's go scan it. I kind of want to have like some things turn on. So if you imagine he'll be like on the dark side of this thing, something like this, right? And he'll scan, and then like I want to have something kind of light up, like a subsurface glow of some kind, which makes me think maybe we should just create this as a material. So let's see what kind of crazy stuff we can come up with. I'm going to give myself a little bit more room, and I'm going to watch the dark side of this thing. And first off with this, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I've got a new materials. This isn't assigned to anything else. Although this is the only thing in our scene, so but I'm going to rename it. So factory. And I'm gonna, let's see, I'll increase the distance first, because we're such a large object, we want a really high distance. You can see what that does is it helps Blender calculate the bump a whole lot better, a whole lot more accurately. So that's looking good. And that's because the distance between like this point and this point is really far. This is a huge object, so that's why cranking the distance up gives us that effect. All right, so let's see, what can we do to make it look like we've got something kind of beneath the surface of this thing. I'm gonna grab these and move them out of the way here, and I'm gonna get a let's start with a, what do I want? I'm thinking through the options. Let's try a Voronoi texture. I might even, what I'll do is I'm going to stop the record, turn my face back on. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Sorry, my camera's there. There it is. Hi. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming. Just doing a live stream today. Just recording for episode 9. If you're new, missed the beginning. So feel free to throw any questions in chat. If you've got them, let me know, and I'll do my best to answer. Really appreciate you being here. It's fun having people around. So yeah, it's way cooler than doing these things in isolation. All right. Let's. So I'm thinking we play around a bit with this first, and then we'll record it. So, I want to do that trick where we put 2 of these in here. Grab this over here. And let's see. I'll go for object into vector. And then I'm going to take the distance and pop that into vector. And this gives us that really cool, kind of crazy effect. I'll show you. If you're not familiar with it, if you haven't seen it, it's something we use fairly frequently in these tutorials, at least in this series. All right, let's see what this is going to look like. It gives us these weird circles. But if we change these, get other weird stuff. And then if I take my randomness down to like 0, it's going to start looking kind of uniform. All right, just going to find a pattern that gives us something cool. Again, I'm not entirely sure what this should look like. It's cool, makes it look like some kind of like tribal rock thing. And this may not be the right way to do this. I'm not entirely sure yet. We could also try using, just have a look at what our other shaders look like. Maybe we can harvest something from one of these. Could be good. What's driving my bump? Let's have a look at that. If I grab a color ramp, pipe that into it. I need to get something that kind of like highlights the edges of this thing. And if I use this, it's going to be nice because it'll kind of correspond with the bump, and that'll add to the realism in terms of make it feel like it's actually there. This could also be a good way to like isolate where this thing is going to happen. Like we combine these two systems, you know, do something like this, and then something like this. Throw it out a mixed RGB. Put that in. See if that does it. So we get these cool geometric patterns. Don't know it's what we want though. Switch it to constant so it's not a fade. Yeah, cool. You guys like it? Think it's cool? Oh, you made something like this happy? That's cool. Let's check it out. Let's see if we make it like a red. Michael votes yes. Pop that up. That's kind of cool. Maybe if we make this a bit smaller. You can kind of see what I'm going for with this. Like, see. Ooh. Let's see. Yeah, random matrix glyphs. I agree. It looks kind of cool, Ginger. Because we'll go with something like this, I think. And oh, cool, happy. That's good. Welcome to the Blender family. It's a very happy family. All right, let's take this down. Now that I've got this set to constant, I don't need to worry about them being side by side, and I can just do this to like minimize it. We could do something like this, and then that way what we can do is we can have it move. All right. Let's see. What happens if we... Let's get a mapping node. Pop that there. And then we could do something cool like this. That's pretty sweet. Could always split the difference too at the randomness, like break it up a little bit more. Oh no, it's dissolving. This is going to be, this could be useful when it blows up. All right. This is looking really sick. I'm quite happy with it. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I'll check your stuff out. Happy? Glad to. I'm only a new channel myself. If you check the history of my channel, it says I started back in 2011. It's actually when I just posted my first video, which was a work video years ago. I didn't actually start doing this channel technically until September last year. So it takes time to grow, but if you're consistent, that's the main thing. All right, I think this is good. This is going to work for us. You may still want something down there so that we get the sense that it's... Anyways, all right, let's redo this and record it. Now the trick is not losing it because I just did a lot of weird messing around. Okay, so what did I do? I took the noise texture and, sorry, hang on. There you go. I took the noise texture and we piped it into a color ramp that we set to constant. Yep. And then we created a double Voronoi system. We used Manhattan and Euclidean, F2, F1, scale of 66, scale of 6, randomness was 1 with both of them. And yeah, and then another color ramp. And then we multiplied them together for the emission. Okay, cool. What I'll do is I will just make this one a new material. I'll switch back to Asteroid Factory. And I will grab all this stuff, delete it, delete that. And I can't remember if I did the distance thing on the record or not. I don't think I did. So I'll do that as well. And I think we also need to rename it. There we go, behind the scenes magic. All right, I'm gonna jump back in. I'll say hi again in a second. Turn the portrait off. Oh wait, what'd you say, Ginger? I want to catch that. I do something I think it was actually embedded in the asteroid itself. When it blows up, the code starts glitching out. Yeah, that's a cool idea. I mean, like glitch out across the whole service, like it's like part screen. I think that's a good idea. All right, here we go. All right, so let's start off. Let's create this material for our asteroid. We want to have a material that basically, as the little scanner droid flies up to this thing on like the dark side of this asteroid, he's going to scan it, and I want to have like some kind of light system begin to turn on this thing. So immediately we begin to know something's not quite right. And I want it to kind of grow and expand, and then that's when the interior is going to turn on like this, okay? So to do that, let's go over to the material. We're going to rename this material. Now, if you've still got your other asteroids, if for some reason you're building this in your main scene, you want to make a new material first. But since this is the only asteroid in this scene, it doesn't really matter for me. I can just keep using it. Just make sure you don't overwrite what you're already using. So I'm going to rename this Asteroid Factory. Okay. And now over in my material settings, first thing I want to do is I want to change the distance in my bump. Now, if you can see right now, it doesn't look very bumpy when we get up close. And that's because we're basically saying there's a distance of 62, which, roughly means that, the distance between a peak and a trough within the bump map is 62. But this is such a huge thing, it's actually quite larger. So if I increase my distance, you're going to see that we'll actually get a much better bump overall. So I'll just increase that up. Something like, well, just still looks right, really. It's just about doing it to eye. So I think that looks pretty good. All right, great. Now let's get started. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to use the bump system that we've created to drive this thing so that it feels like it kind of lives within the actual structure of this asteroid. Okay. So in order to do that, what I want to do is take right here, the thing that's going into my bump is set from these two noise textures. So I'm going to create a new color ramp just to give myself a little bit more control. Drop that down. And I'll take the factor of the bump and I'll pipe it into the factor here. And I'll go ahead and pipe this into the emission so you can see what it looks like. Okay. Now, if I just drag these in a little bit, you're going to start seeing that it's basically following the same pattern as our bump. And that's you can tell it's like kind of resting right on there and highlighting this section. It feels kind of real because we get this like, ridged area. It's a cool effect. So I want to use this to isolate certain sections, okay? So I'm going to bring this over like this, I think, and I'm going to switch this to constant. Now the reason I'm switching it to constant is so that I don't get this like gradual fade off between the black and the white. I want it to be a hard edge because I'm going to use this to basically cut out sections of another material. So you can see here, I'm like isolating these white bits. So now I've got this section over here, these sections. So everything that's not showing up in the emission is black, basically, because black means 0, and 0 emission is no light, so that's why we're not seeing it. But whereas 1 is full emission, and we're seeing these really bright spots. So we're going to use this to kind of cut away sections, all right, of another emission material. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's create, first create another texture coordinate node. Technically, we could use this one, but just for space reasons, I can just use this one to get it close. And when I say space reasons, I don't mean outer space. I mean real estate. Very important difference. Okay, let's grab a Voronoi, and we're going to use 2 of these. We're going to use that same technique we've been using before in other tutorials where we double up the Voronoi. I'm going to take the object, plug it into the vector, and I'll take the distance. Remember, this only works with the distance value, and plug it into the vector. And then I'm going to get another color ramp. I'll just duplicate that one. I'll turn this one back onto ease, and I will take the color and I'll pipe it into that. And then I'll take this color and pipe it into the emission. All right, great. Now, let the computer catch up. Okay, cool. So this is definitely not the look we're going for, but never fear. Let's mix these two together. So I'm going to create a mix RGB. And I'll just create a little more room for us. Grab these guys out. And I'll take the color from this color ramp, pipe that into there, and take the color from this one, pipe that into here. And we are going to multiply the two together. Because again, remember from our basic math concepts, when you multiply 0 by any number, you get 0. When you multiply 1, you get the number that, the other number. So if you multiply 2 by 1, you get 2, right? Anyways, so that's what's happening here. By multiplying, we're keeping this value wherever this value is white, or the number 1. Okay, now let's play around with these a little bit. Let's change the scale of this. We'll bring it right up. And I'm going to change this to Manhattan. And I think I'll go F2. What we're doing is we're getting these like hieroglyphics. How do you say that? I can't believe I can't say it. Hieroglyphics. That's it. Okay. You can see how we're getting these hieroglyphic kind of images. It's like text, almost like alien text. It's appearing now in these key sections of our asteroid. That actually looks really nice. Let's try different scales. I'll keep it around 5. That looks really good. I'll drop this. Just find a nice sort of happy medium, happy spot. Yeah, that looks really good. I'll keep it there. Now I'll take this one and I'll just bring it in, and this one's going to affect basically how much of this is visible, like which of these little runes and stuff are visible. So we could do it like that, actually. That's kind of nice because we get two variations. All right, sweet. Let's try going all out with it. You can see with this one, we can use it to basically regulate how much we're seeing. Now we could even animate this, right? So that's another cool thing. And then what's great about this is it's following the contour of our bump. So we could also bring this one up, hit plus, and make this one black. And that'll give us not the control we're after, actually. And that could isolate us even more into certain sections, which is kind of cool. All right. Now let's go ahead and make this thing look evil. How do we do that? The color red. How else? All right, let's do it. I'm going to smash this thing all the way down into red. Turn my green all the way off, so I've got 1 for red, and turn my vibrancy up to 5. There we go. And let's see. I'll do the same for this one. I'm not sure it'll make a difference, but it may. Like that. And turn this vibrancy up to 5 as well. Yeah, wow. Okay, that's very bright. Maybe not 5. Maybe let's bring that down a touch. Whoa, there. And this one too, I think. And what I might do is just turn it off even more. I feel like that guy's doing anything for me. All right, that's pretty cool. Okay, so what I did was I ended up turning up my red, this one back up to 4 on the vibrancy, and this one I turned up to, well, the max, 4.875. And what I did was I just changed the scale of my second Verona. I just brought it down to 9, 9.5. And this just gives me these nice kind of, not, massive blocks of text, but just like little sections. So now when our little guy flies up, we can have these rune-like things appear. Now what we can also do is we can grab this and we can create a mapping node and stick it right here. And we can animate this moving, because why not? How cool is that? So we'll want to have this like kind of be fairly easy to control. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to create a combine XYZ node. I'll pipe this into here. And then I want to create a mapping node. Oh, sorry, not a mapping node. I want to create a, what's it called? Remap? No. What's it called? Converter. Map range. That's it. So I want to create a map range node. Drop that here and pop that into the Y. And now what I can do is I can make my to max something like 10, or sorry, something like 0.1. and then I can use that to drive the value. Actually, no, that's silly. What am I doing? We're not going to do that. That's way too complicated. We'll just leave it like this. All right, cool. Well, that's all we've got time for today. We're not going to bother setting up a rig to animate this thing because it's so simple. We'll be able to do it pretty much when we get into the scene itself. We'll be able to set that up and kind of animate it based on what we see. But this is what I really wanted to create today. Our alien spaceship asteroid factory bad guy thing. So hope you really enjoyed it. Hope you learned some really cool tricks about materials and modeling and making stuff look cool. Once again, please feel free to check out the Patreon. We got lots of extra stuff over there. We got a whole series of tutorials on how to make the hero spaceship and the bad guy spaceship that's coming up. Plus, that's where I put up all the live streams and the uncut versions of each episode. So like each one's like 2 or 3 hours long. Check that out. It's a lot of fun to see. And check us out on Blender Market. We got some cool stuff for sale over there too. And yeah, really appreciate you watching it. Thanks for engaging with the channel. And I hope you have a fantastic week. I will catch you in the next episode. See ya. All right, there we go. Done. Nailed it. I'll say hi to chat. Thanks, 4K. Thanks for coming around. Catch you later, man. There we go. Cool. All right. Sweet. We got it done. Awesome. Let me see what I miss out on chat. Let's see. Oh, Happy Gamer. Yes. Yes, you can earn money doing Blender. I use Blender in all my professional contracts for clients. So it's great. And then second question, I'm running RTX 2080 Max Q design. So the Max Q design is the one they made for laptops. So I've got one of the Razer laptops that I run off of. So yeah. Anyways, awesome, Ginger. Glad you enjoyed the shader insights with some cool tricks there. I actually really am stoked with how that thing turned out. I didn't think that we'd get something that cool in that amount of time. So I feel really pumped about that. Hope you guys are all enjoying the series so far. I don't really know exactly how long it's going to go for. I just know we got a lot more to do. So it's probably going to run for a while. So I hope you're really enjoying it. This is kind of an experiment for me to kind of see what everybody thinks about like a super long series. Because I mean, they've all been long, all the series, but this is definitely going to be the longest. So I just kind of make sure I don't want to burn everyone out on the content, that we don't get tired of the scene. But I think it's really fun. So I'm also kind of not worried about it. So anyways, feel free to let me know what you guys think. But thanks for joining me today. Any other last minute questions? I'll just keep an eye on chat, just in case anybody else has anything else to talk about. I'll get this thing edited up. Again, this is going to be episode 9. So 8 is coming out on Wednesday. That's going to be the scan effect with the droid. So the green sort of laser scan effect that we have on the asteroid. So we'll get that one next week. And then after that, we'll have this one edited up ready for you to launch on the channel. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, chat seems quiet. I feel we've made good progress. Been streaming for a little over an hour now, so I think it's a good time to wrap it up. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, thanks for joining me. No worries, Brewski. It's good to have you. SA. I wonder if that means South Australia. It'd be so cool if I had an Australian watching right now. All right. Yeah, cool. I'm glad you're liking the story, Ginger. Yeah, that was kind of part of the fun. Was thinking about how we could have like a episodic story to unfold, and hopefully you guys will enjoy where I'm going to take it. I've got it all planned out on my secret whiteboards behind me here. Got like storyboards and stuff drawn up, so got a good plan. Yeah, I hope to do more stuff like this too. I'm definitely going to lean into this with the channel. We're going to keep going cinematic. We're going to keep doing storytelling. We're going to keep doing film stuff because that's what I love. It's really fun putting together stories and things like that. So that's going to be a constant part of this channel. I've even thought about doing some tutorials on screenwriting because that's another big thing that I do a lot of. Not that any of my movies have ever been made, mind you, but that's part of screenwriting. Anyways, I do have a lot that I could talk about there, but anyways, we'll see how we grow and where we go with it all. But anyways, all right, cool. Well, I'm going to head off. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out. And thanks for watching the stream. Hope you enjoyed it. And I will catch you next time. See ya.